In the end, this debate became about two things. First of all, the women autonomy and money. Are we willing to deprive it from them? Obviously not. And second, about is it a legitimate choice? But before I talk about those things, and I'm going to show you that this is also a legitimate choice, and that it promotes women. Either one that I show means we're winning the debate. A few points of rebuttal. First, about the whole second opposition line about putting a price tag, which is principal to their case. So a few answers for that, about putting a price tag on babies, obviously. So first of all, already, as Monica told you, babies cost money. So already today, we're putting a price tag on babies. We do know that family planning wise, we do know that if we want more another baby, we need a promotion for it. Moreover, if we're living in Israel, which is where Alon lives right now, so Israel is subsidizing children, which means that we are putting price tag on money, and yet we don't see all the harms that he's claiming for. But then he told us, no, this is not like soldiers, this is babies being sold. No normative value in the whole of his speech about what is different from babies, from adults, and about them being sold. So we don't understand what is the difference between adult life being sold and babies, and why do we accept one and not the other. And then he said, no, but this is about existence. So as soldiers, so as people who risk their life in missions every day for some amount of money. So if they don't prove this principal things in this case, that putting a tag over babies is bad and pernicious and atrocious or something, then it's not enough, it's not sufficient to say this is not a legitimate choice. But moreover, we think that money is an enabler in this case. We believe that some women want to be a surrogate mother, but they can't because pregnancy costs a lot. You have the examinations. You need to eat for two, right? You have a lot of other things you need money for. But if you don't get money, then you don't do it voluntarily because it costs you too much. Therefore, we need to encourage women to do it. Therefore, we need to allow this proposition. Moreover, we think that they didn't engage and they ignored that poverty means even less choice than being a surrogate mother with more harm. And if we're depriving more choice under their side, we prefer government side, opposition, shame. Second, we believe that they also ignored about the discrimination we do between men and women and their organs and between different organs that women have. Because obviously we can sell breasts all the time on commercials and silicone implants, but we can't sell their uterus because this is different somehow. From here to my points. Let's start with autonomy and money. So as I started talking, saying we don't have problems with monetizing women parts all the time. We see that in the real world, we see that in commercials. We see that with breasts, with thighs, with legs, with nails, with every woman part as you want, even with vaginas actually. So what we're not willing to monetize here is just uterus. And we think this is not really should be the case here. We don't understand what is their criteria for the difference. Because when we allow modeling, strippers, saleswomen, advertisements, all of those things means that we are willing to allow women to monetize their parts as we allow men to monetize their parts. But then they told us, no, but those women would be ditched after you gave them the money. So first of all, we don't think this is always the case, as first God told us. But more importantly, we don't think there's a problem with it. We think it's acceptable if this is by the contract. What was the contract? I think it's okay that you will be sort of theirs for 9 months and then go back to your family wherever you live with a bunch of money and have the life you want with your own children. But then Monica says you the most important thing. This is discriminative in a way which is illegitimate because we allow men to sell their organs all the time by working in construction, selling their rights, by risking themselves in the army. This is one of the only leverages women have inherently over men. Not the only one in general, but one of the only one inherently. But by allowing what they want to control the women's uterus. And why is that? Because they're hysterical. They're not informed. They're not free. They don't know how to make choices. Really absurd. What we're saying is that their side that deprives choice, and we're the side that's allowing, enabling them choice by allowing money in the process. The money enables opportunities and options for those women. They allow them to do the noble thing and also to get money for that. And for this reason alone, I think that this is enough to show the benefits. Before my second point, yes.
How exactly, under your mechanism, now this pool of uneducated, unskilled women who are competing with each other like a product can really negotiate with the parents on the terms and on the money? How exactly are they going to have such a good contract?
Two answers. First of all, when they're in poverty as well, they cannot negotiate when they work in McDonald's, when they work in other places. Second, we think by market rules, if there's a lot of demand, then the supply, well, the prices will rise. We think this is obvious and this is, well, legitimate because this is not a market failure. This is just the market and how it works. So let's talk about legitimate choice because this is quite a burden here. Because we got from first problem, there is no opt-out. Totally ignoring that poverty doesn't have opt-out as well and has more major harms. And yet the government does nothing to tackle that problem. But more we think that people can opt out. First of all, we do see that with prostitution in the Netherlands, with soldiers in the United States, people can opt out. Not all poor people become soldiers in the army. Second, we do believe that they have options. They can work in McDonald's, they can work in different places, they can model, they can do whatever they want. So we don't think this is their only options in most cases. But moreover, we think that the economic pressure they have is legitimate. In most cases you have economic pressure. We don't see how this is different from working in construction. And four, we think this is temporal. Even if you give up some of your rights for some time, we think this is legitimate because it's not for the rest of your life, like slavery as they told us. Because in slavery, you give up all of your rights for the rest of your life. This is not the case here. You don't give up all of your rights. You can still watch TV if you want and do a lot of other things, right? And second, you can do a lot of other stuff. Most importantly, other physical harms rely that you don't have a choice, because once you have a choice, they accepted that in pregnancy. So in the end, two things. This deprives women from choice. We need to enable them that choice. And second, this is the legitimate free choice. For those reasons, we call you to propose.